The girl in chains. The jungle was too quiet. Not a single sound came from the trees. No birds, no insects, no wind. Sergeant Ryan Hale stepped carefully through the thick vines, his boots sinking into the soft, muddy ground. He raised his hand, signaling his small squad to stop. "Something's wrong," he said into the comm. Corporal Jenna looked around. No heat signatures, no movement, nothing. "That's exactly the problem," Ryan replied. This place was alive, but today it felt dead. They were on a rescue mission on the outer colony world Zarnus 9, once home to a powerful alien empire. The war ended years ago, but sometimes signals still came from the jungle, old distress calls, auto beacons, or something else. Today, they followed one strange signal to a ruined building deep in the trees, and that's where they found her. The squad entered a broken lab, overgrown with vines. Broken glass crunched under their boots. Machines were half-melted, rusted, and dead. At the back of the room was a black cube, a containment cage, made of smooth metal with glowing red lines. It looked ancient, and still active. Inside the cube was a girl. She sat in the middle of the cage, small, still, her knees pulled to her chest, her arms wrapped in long glowing chains. Her hair was silver white, hanging over her face. Her skin was light blue, glowing faintly like a candle. Jenna whispered, "Is she alive?" Ryan stepped closer. The girl raised her head slowly and opened her eyes. They were violet, bright, sharp, unblinking, but full of sadness. She didn't scream. She didn't move. She just looked at Ryan, straight through him. Ryan took a step forward. "What is this place?" he asked. The girl whispered one word, so soft they almost missed it. "Run." Jenna raised her weapon. "Sir, we don't know what she is." "I know," Ryan said, "but she's been locked in here for years. Look. At her. She's not attacking." He reached for the control panel on the side of the cage. The girl's eyes widened. "Don't, please." Ryan looked back at her. "We're not leaving you like this." "I'm not safe," she said. "I've dealt with worse," he replied. He pressed the button. The cage hissed, and the chains unlocked. The girl moved so fast, no one could react. She leapt forward and bit Ryan on the neck. He fell back, groaning. Jenna shouted, "Weapons up!" But before anyone fired, Ryan held up his hand. "Wait," he touched his neck. It was bleeding, but he was still breathing. He looked at the girl. She stared at him in shock. "You're still alive," she said, her voice shaking. "I think so," Ryan answered, standing slowly. Her lips trembled. "No one survives the bite. Not even my kind." Back on the ship, the medics checked Ryan again and again. No poison, no infection, no sign of damage, just a strange glowing mark where her teeth had touched his skin. "It should have killed you," the doctor said. "But it didn't," Ryan replied. In the corner of the room, the alien girl sat quietly, wrapped in a blanket, staring at the wall. Ryan walked over. "Can you tell me your name?" She didn't look up. "My name was taken," she whispered. "I was made to kill. One bite. And everything ends." "Not for me," Ryan said gently. "No," she said. "You're different." Later that night, Ryan couldn't sleep. The mark on his neck glowed faintly in the dark. He stared out the window at the stars. What had she done to him? Who was she? And why did she look so scared? Not of him, but of herself. He heard footsteps. Turned. She was standing at the door, barefoot and silent. "Why did you help me?" she asked. "Because you needed it. I warned you." "I don't care," he said. "You were in chains." She looked at the floor. "I was born in chains." Ryan stepped closer. "You bit me. I should be dead. But I'm not." The girl slowly looked up, And now you've changed? What do you mean? You're connected to me, she said. That mark, it's not just a scar, it's a signal. You'll feel it soon. Feel what? She paused. Everything I've forgotten. Outside the window, the stars pulsed once, soft and strange. Something old had awakened, something buried deep in her blood. And now, it was inside him. The toxin that failed. Rian Hale stood in the shower, water running down his neck. His hand moved over the bite. The skin should have been broken, burned, poisoned, but it wasn't. Instead, there was a glowing mark, soft silver, like ink just under the surface. It didn't hurt. It pulsed, alive, like it was waiting. He had been bitten by an alien girl, a bite that should have killed him, but it didn't. In the medical lab, Dr. Juno stared at Ryan's test results in silence. This doesn't make sense, she said. Corporal, Jenna looked over her shoulder. Is he infected? No, Juno replied. He's adapting. Adapting to what? I don't know. She pulled up the alien girl's data. Her blood was unlike anything they had seen, half biological, half energy. Her bite carried a command, not a poison, but a living code. It entered the body, rewrites it, breaks it, ends it, except with Ryan. It didn't break anything. It merged. In the brig, the alien girl sat alone, knees to her chest. The lights above her flickered, not broken, responding, like they felt her presence. Her silver-white hair fell around her face. Her arms were wrapped tight around her body. She wasn't shaking, she wasn't afraid, she was remembering. Rian entered the room. He didn't bring weapons, just a quiet voice. You okay? He asked. The girl didn't move. You shouldn't be. Walking? She whispered. Well, he said. I do a lot of things I shouldn't. She looked at him now. Deep violet eyes glowing slightly. You didn't die. No, he said. Still here. Her lips trembled. I've never seen it fail before, not once. My bite. It ends anything. Then maybe I'm not anything, Ryan said softly. She looked away. They called me a weapon. Do you have a name? He asked. She paused, then whispered. Kalari. Kalari, he repeated. She looked back at him, curious. You say it like it matters. It does, he said. Every name matters. Later, Rian sat in the quiet of his bunk. He felt strange. His vision was sharper. He could hear tiny sounds, the humming of wires, the shift of air through the vents, even the soft heartbeat of someone walking 2 rooms away. He opened his hand. The mark still pulsed. Then, he saw something, not in front of him, inside, a flash, a memory, not his own, a silver chamber. Voices shouting in a strange language. Kalari, screaming, trapped inside a glass cage. Needles, light, pain. Then silence. Rian snapped back to the present, breathing hard. He wasn't dreaming. He had seen her memory. The next day, he told Dr. Juno, I think I saw what she saw. Like a flash of her life. Juno stared at him. That's not possible. It happened. She looked at the scans again. Her bite may have linked you. At the cellular level, it didn't infect you. It chose you. Kalari stood at the edge of her cell, hands pressed, against the glass. I felt it, she said as Ryan entered. You felt what? My memory. Leaving me. Entering you. He nodded slowly. Why me? She looked down. I don't know. Maybe the code was waiting for someone like you. That night the power failed across the ship. Lights dimmed, doors locked, screens went black. But Ryan's room stayed bright, lit by the mark on his neck. Kalari stood outside the door, staring at the light under the cracks. She touched the wall and softly said, You're becoming more than human. In the final scene, Ryan walks into the control center. The crew stares at him, not in fear, but confusion. curiosity, respect. Because something in him had changed. Not just strength, not just senses, but presence. He wasn't just the man who survived, the impossible bite. He was becoming something new, and Kalari wasn't afraid anymore. She was watching, remembering, and maybe, for the first time in her life, hoping. The language of her blood. Kalari didn't sleep. She sat on the cold floor of her cell, drawing shapes in the light with her fingertip. They glowed for a few seconds, then faded. Circles, spirals, lines that looped and joined like a forgotten language. She wasn't just passing time, she was remembering. Across the hall, Sergeant Ryan Hale stood silently, watching her through the glass. He had stopped asking questions. Now he just listened. Kalari knew he was there. She could feel him, even when her back was turned. The thread inside her was awake. "I used to think the bite was my curse," she said softly. Ryan tilted his head. "What is it then?" She touched her chest gently. "It's a key." Ryan stepped into the room. No weapons, no fear, just calm. Kalari looked at him, not like a prisoner watching a guard, but like someone searching for an answer only he could give. "I was made in a lab," she said. "Not born, not raised, created." Ryan didn't speak. He waited. "My people were dying. They wanted a new way to fight. So they built something alive, something powerful, something they could control." Her voice lowered. "They made me." She stood and walked to the far wall. With her finger, she drew again. This time, it stayed, glowing spiral with 5 marks around it. Ryan stared at it. "I've seen that, in my dreams." "Since the bite." Kalari nodded. "It's the mark of the blood language. My kind didn't speak with sound. We spoke with memory. Passed through, touch through blood." She looked into his eyes. "My bite wasn't made to poison. It was made to rewrite." Ryan took a slow breath. "And it didn't rewrite me." "No," she said. "It recognized you." "Why?" "Because you didn't try to use me. You didn't fear me. You just helped." They sat across from each other on the floor. Quiet, balanced. 2 beings from different worlds, linked by something neither fully understood. Ryan finally asked, "Why did the others die?" Kalari closed her eyes. "My bite forced their bodies to obey a command. Erase. Delete everything inside. It was clean. Silent. Perfect. But it didn't work on me." "No," she said. "You're not like them." Dr. Juno watched. Then from the lab monitor, she turned to the team. "Kalari is not just an alien, she's a living interface, a code carrier." One tech whispered, "You mean a weapon?" "No," Juno said. "She's a translator for something we've never seen before." Back in the room, Kalari leaned forward. "Ryan," she said, "your blood is speaking to me now." "What's it saying?" She paused. "That I'm not alone anymore." Suddenly, alarms went off. Red lights flashed. An incoming ship, unknown origin, was headed straight for them. Fast, armed. Rian stood up quickly. Kalari did too. But she didn't look scared, she looked angry. "They found me," she said. "Who?" Ryan asked. "The ones who made me." Outside, the black ship landed without sound. No symbols, no lights, just metal. Cold. Waiting. Ryan and Kalari watched from the control deck. "You need to run," she said. "I don't run," he replied. "They'll take me. Use me. Start again." "Not while I'm breathing," he said. Kalari turned to him slowly. "Then let me finish the bond." She reached out her hand. He took it. A pulse of light moved between them. Not pain, not fear, just connection. Their marks glowed together, and something old began to wake. Not inside her. Inside him. Kalari stepped back, her eyes wide. "You heard it, didn't you?" she whispered. Rian nodded slowly. "A voice," he said. speaking in light. She smiled, for the first time. You're learning the language of my blood. The scene ends with the ship door opening in the distance. Rian and Kalari stand side by side, no longer just soldier and prisoner, but something more, linked, awake, and ready. The betrayal within. The black ship didn't fire, it didn't speak. It just sat in silence on the far side of the base, like a shadow that refused to move. Inside the command center, alarms had stopped, but the silence was worse. It meant something was coming, something patient, something cold. Sergeant Ryan Hale stood with Kalari, watching the ship from the high windows. They're not here for war, he said quietly. Kalari nodded. No. They're here to take me back. You're not going anywhere. Her eyes locked onto his. Even if it means your life? He nodded. I made you a promise. Behind them, Corporal Jenna watched with narrowed eyes. She had served with Ryan for years, fought beside him, trusted him. But ever since the alien girl arrived, he had changed. He walked differently. He spoke differently. He glowed, just a little, under his skin, like a light trying to break free. And now, he was protecting her even from their own command. Jenna left the room and opened a private channel. This is Corporal Jenna, priority contact. Code Black, a voice replied instantly. Go ahead. I can give you the target, she said, but I want Hale left alive. Deliver the girl, the voice said coldly, or we take both. Jenna hesitated, then whispered. Understood. That night, Kalari couldn't sleep. She stood at the window of her quarters, staring at the black ship. Ryan entered quietly. You're not alone, he said. She didn't turn. I've never had someone stand beside me this long. He smiled. Get used to it. But the peace didn't last. A sudden hiss filled the air. Gas lights flickered. The door slammed shut. Kalari collapsed to her knees, coughing. The mark on her hand burned. She looked up and saw Jenna, holding a pulse rifle. Don't do this, Kalari gasped. I have orders, Jenna said. You're a threat. I didn't choose this. You infected Ryan, you're changing him. Kalari shook her head. He chose me. Jenna's eyes narrowed. Then he's not himself anymore. She aimed the weapon. Goodbye. Before she could fire, the door burst open. Ryan charged in, his eyes glowing faintly. Jenna turned, but it was too late. Ryan caught her arm, twisted the rifle away, and knocked her to the ground. She stared at him, shocked. Ryan, don't you see? She's not what you think. He looked down at her. Quiet. I know exactly what she is. Then he picked up Kalari gently and walked away. Later, Kalari sat in the medical bay, recovering. Rian sat beside her. Why would she betray us? Kalari asked. Fear, Rian said. She thought I was becoming something else. Kalari touched his hand. You are? But I'm still me, he replied. Still human. She looked at him softly. Maybe. You're becoming more. Dr. Juno arrived with new scans. She looked serious. The bond is growing faster than we thought, she said. Your body isn't just adapting, it's remembering. Remembering what? Ryan asked. Things you've never lived, she replied. Kalari's bite unlocked something in you. Shared memory, shared power. You're becoming part of her line, Kalari whispered. The blood doesn't lie. Outside, the black ship opened. A figure stepped out, tall, armored, and faceless. A collector, a soul hunter, a creature designed to bring things back, no matter the cost. It began walking toward the base. Inside, lights flickered again. The air felt heavy. Kalari stood. No more running. Ryan looked at her. Then let's finish what they started. In the final scene, they walked together toward the gates, side by side, human and alien, marked by the same bond, and ready to fight not with weapons, but with the truth of who they've become. Together. The human who shouldn't exist. The sky turned dark above the base, not from clouds, but from the black ship. It hovered silently, its underbelly opening like a wound. Light didn't come out. Shadows did, long, crawling, alive. At the front gate stood the collector. It didn't speak, didn't ask, didn't wait. It simply walked forward. Ryan stood with Kalari on the command deck, watching the figure move closer. Dr. Juno whispered, "It's not just here for her. It can sense you now too." Kalari nodded. "They know the bond is active." Ryan clenched his fists. "I'm done hiding." He stepped outside, alone. The wind around him changed. Electric. The collector paused for the first time. It tilted its head at Ryan, almost curious. Then it raised its arm. A black pulse shot toward Ryan like a spear of smoke. Kalari screamed, "Ryan!" But before it could strike, something in Ryan lit up. The mark on his hand flared gold. The pulse stopped midair, then shattered like glass. Ryan stood, eyes glowing, calm. The collector charged. Faster than anything Kalari had ever seen. It struck, with a blade made of energy. But it didn't hit Ryan. Because Ryan moved. Not like a soldier. Not like a man. But like something more. He bent space. Time. He caught the blade in his hand. And crushed it. Kalari ran to him. "What did you do?" she whispered. "I didn't do anything," Ryan said. "It was always inside me." She looked at him stunned. "Your body isn't just adapting, it's responding. The thread accepted you." "No," Ryan said. "It chose me." The collector stepped back, but Ryan didn't stop. He walked forward. Every step echoed like thunder. The air around him shimmered, and then he touched the collector's chest, only for a second. But it was enough. The machine stopped moving. Its armor cracked, its energy failed, and then it fell. Dead. Silence returned. Kalari stood beside Ryan, breathless. She whispered, "You're not just a survivor." He looked at her slowly. "I'm the answer they never expected." Back inside, Dr. Juno scanned Ryan again. "You're not just changing. Your DNA now mirrors parts of Kalari's." She pulled up a hologram of his cells. "The thread didn't attack your body, it welcomed it." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "What does that mean?" Kalari answered, voice shaking. "It means you're part of the same line now. You carry the same memory, the same power. You could pass it on." Jenna entered. "Quiet now. I was wrong," she said. "You're not infected. You're becoming something this galaxy hasn't seen before." Ryan nodded. Something they tried to erase. Later that night, Kalari and Ryan sat under the stars. The black ship was gone, the collector's remains buried deep, but something bigger had awakened. "I thought I was built to end life," Kalari said. "You were built to protect it," Ryan replied. "They just never let you try." She looked at him with soft, glowing eyes. "You weren't supposed to survive my bite." "And yet," he smiled, "here we are." She leaned against him gently. "Your people will fear you. Then I'll protect them anyway. Even if they call you a threat." He nodded. "I'd rather be feared for saving lives than loved, for following orders." In the final scene, Kalari holds his hand, two marks glowing together. And far above, in the dark corner of space, a signal is triggered. One the galaxy hasn't seen in centuries. Not a warning, not a weapon, a reunion. The human and the weapon had joined, and now, the world would have to face what that really meant. The bite that saved a world. A distress call came from the colony world Zereth 4. They were under attack, not from invaders, but from their own defense system. A powerful AI weapon, buried, long ago had awakened, and now it was wiping out everything. No one could stop it. No human, no alien, nothing, until Kalari stood up. "I know that signal," she said. Ryan turned. From where? It's from the old wars. The creators who built me. They use the same code. It listens only to something stronger. Stronger than death? He asked. She looked into his eyes. Stronger than memory. Within hours, they arrived on Zareth 4. The skies were full of smoke. Buildings were burning. Families ran through the streets as drones flew above, shooting anything that moved. At the center of it all, a massive black tower pulsed with light. It was the control. Core alive, feeding on fear. Can you stop it? Ryan asked. Kalari nodded. I can try. But it might kill you? She turned to him. I was born to kill. If I end it by saving others, that's enough. Ryan didn't speak. Instead, he took her hand. And for the first time, he whispered, Bite. Me again? She blinked. Why? Last time it woke the thread. This time, maybe it will finish it. Kalari hesitated, then nodded. She leaned close and softly bit his hand. Not out of fear, out of trust. Light exploded around them. The ground shook. The air shimmered, and Ryan's body lifted slightly off the ground, glowing from the inside out. His voice was calm. This time we go together. They reached the tower's base. Drones flew toward them, but stopped mid-air, as if confused. They scanned Ryan and Kalari, then shut down and fell like broken leaves. Inside the tower, they found the core, a huge sphere of dark light spinning slowly. Kalari stepped forward. I carry your code, she said to it, but I won't be your weapon anymore. The core pulsed. It spoke, a voice of many tones. You were made for one purpose. Kalari raised her head. Then let me show you a second one. She touched the surface. It resisted, tried to burn. Herbert Ryan placed his hand beside hers, and together the bond activated. Silver and gold light wrapped around the core. The voice screamed. Error. Conflict. Rejection. Kalari whispered. No, not conflict. Balance. Suddenly the core cracked. The tower trembled. Outside, the AI systems all over the planet shut down. Missiles froze. Turrets turned to dust. People stood in silence, staring at the sky. The war was over, and it wasn't won with weapons. It was ended by a girl's bite and a man's choice to believe in her. Back on the surface, the people of Zareth 4 gathered. They saw Kalari and Ryan walking through the smoke. No soldiers, no armor, just light in their eyes. The survivors dropped to their knees, not in fear, but in thanks. A child ran up to Kalari. She flinched at first, but the child smiled and asked, Are you the one who saved us? Kalari knelt slowly, and for the first time in her life she said with pride, Yes, I did. That night, Ryan and Kalari sat by a quiet river near the city. He looked at her hand. The mark had changed again, now a full circle, surrounded by lines of light. It's complete, she said. Ryan nodded. What happens now? Kalari smiled. We tell the truth. The next day, news of the event spread across systems. A weapon became a healer. A human became something more. And a bite saved a world. The girl who bit humanity. The war was over. Not just the battle on Zareth 4, but the silent war, the hidden one. The war between fear and trust, between what Kalari was made to be, and who she chose to become. Now people across the galaxy told her story. They called her many names: the last weapon, the bite that healed, the girl who bit humanity. But Ryan just called her Kalari. She stood before the United Planetary Council. Not in chains, not in shadows, but in light. Aliens and humans filled the chamber. The air was quiet, tense. The council leader asked her gently, Why did your kind build such power? Kalari answered, Because they were afraid. And what changed that fear? She looked across the room to where Ryan stood and said, One man didn't run. Ryan had become something new too, part human, part unknown. The bond had changed his body, his thoughts, his memory, but it hadn't changed his heart. He still smiled the same, still listened the same, still kept his word. In classrooms across distant planets, children now drew spirals and circles in the sand. "Do you know what this is?" a teacher asked. A small alien girl raised her hand. "It's the thread," she said. "The promise that saved everyone." Kalari now led a peace team. She visited old war zones, quiet places full of broken machines and broken people. She didn't speak as a hero. She spoke as someone who had once wanted to disappear. She told them, "I was born to erase, but I found someone who refused to let me fade. He gave my story back to me." One day, Kalari stood at a statue on Earth. It showed two hands, one human, one alien, touching at the fingertips. Around the base, these words were carved: "She bit him to end his life. He stood to protect hers, and the galaxy was never the same." That night, Kalari sat beside Ryan, watching the stars. They didn't need to speak much anymore. Their bond said more than words ever could. But tonight, she broke the silence. "I used to fear the future," she said. "Now I wonder what we'll build next." Ryan leaned back. "Whatever it is, we build it together." She smiled. "Even if people are afraid?" He looked at her gently. "They'll learn. Like I did." In the last scene, a young alien child runs through a temple on a distant moon. She holds a small book titled "The Girl Who Bit Humanity." She opens it and reads, "Her bite was made for war. His blood answered with peace." Together they remembered what everyone else forgot, that life isn't about power, it's about the promises we keep. And somewhere, across the stars, Kalari and Rian walk side by side, still linked, still changing, still writing a story that began with chain and ended with freedom.